winter conditions, roads are slippery, extra caution should be exercised, and instead two cars doing the wrong thing. First we have the Subaru that accelerates when they see the light is yellow. Even though there's a truck that's trying to safely clear the intersection, he has to wait while the Subaru runs the yellow light. And then we have the white car that, while lesser of an issue than the Subaru, fails to stop at the red light and turns right in front of the truck that is trying to safely clear the intersection. Apologies that this clip is a bit tough to see with the dash cam. We have a right-hand lane full of traffic all waiting to turn right, and then we have in the left lane a white vehicle that decides they're going to jump the queue and make the right-hand turn from that left lane underneath the sign that is straight through or left turn only. This truck doesn't think he needs to stop at the red light before continuing with his turn. This bus makes a turn that is clearly cutting off the truck that has the right-of-way through the intersection. This individual was having quite the difficulty trying to pay and exit the parking lot. Ultimately, it seems like they were eternally destined to stay there. First of all, this truck fails to stop at a red light before proceeding with their turn, and then rather than turning into the proper lane closest to the curb, they decided to turn into my lane 2 lanes over. Here we had a driver who wasn't paying enough attention and thought that the oncoming traffic's turn lane was actually his. Upon noticing this, he decides to back up into a pretty busy stream of oncoming traffic. The truck directly ahead of me obviously thinks the semi is going too slow and forces his way into the adjacent lane. Here's a clip where I decide to be the nice guy and let this car into my lane so he can make the left-hand turn. Only he decides at the last minute he actually doesn't want to make that left-hand turn. Hey, at least I tried. Car spotting time. Lambo. Here is a situation where the car in front of me obviously is not comfortable merging. First of all, they stay in the right-hand lane when they should be in the left, causing me to have to slow down because I don't want to be a jerk and pass them. And then when it comes to actually getting on the freeway, they do so going about 20 kilometers under the speed limit, causing the truck they merge in front of to have to slam on his brakes. For this clip, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. Was the Jeep in the right or the wrong here? I will point out he certainly did not come to a complete stop. Here is a case where the car in front of me stops in what is essentially the right-hand lane, and there are even signs saying right-hand lane makes right turn, left-hand lane makes left turn, yet he decides he's going to make a left turn from the right-hand lane, preventing me from turning right on the red. Here we have a black car that appears to be uncomfortable passing cars that are on their left, and as you saw, when they passed the white car, they got right onto the right edge of the lane. Here again, as they're coming up to the semi, they get into the right-hand part of the lane, right on the white line, somewhat confusing this car that's trying to merge into the freeway. But that's not the end of it. Here you'll see they actually end up driving into the second lane. And as they get near the semi, they once again veer just slightly out of their lane and hug that right-hand lane. You really should be more comfortable than that driving on the road. This semi seems to start making a lane change before checking to make sure it's safe to do so. Thankfully, they did end up noticing the car that was beside them. I do apologize that this next clip did not translate so well onto the camera. If you watch the cars merging onto the freeway from the oncoming traffic, there's a car that decides the car in front of him is going too slow, and he merges from behind, and that means he accelerates through some snow that's on the road. This causes him to break traction, and he ends up going almost sideways on the freeway. Keep an eye on the SUV that exits the shopping center on my right. They turn into my lane and then proceed to stop and make a U-turn right where there's a no U-turn sign, causing me to have to slow down and avoid them. Notice how the car on the right-hand lane decides to make a lane change, but the signal only comes on when they're nearly completing the change. Let's end with another car spotting video. I spy a Lotus. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.